Hello, this is Par for the Discourse. It is September 19th, 2021. I am Erica. This is Nicole.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good, all's good over here. How about you?
We're hanging in there. I have my Brooklyn sweatshirt on. The temperature dropped a little. We're getting ready for sweatshirt weather again.
I know, look at you. I was just gonna say, you're like bundled up from one week to the next.
I mean, I have shorts on, but
Oh, all right. But you're
It's
cozy, so.
it's like that hybrid time of year. You start pulling out the long sleeves, but you can still wear open toes maybe for a little bit longer,
As long as you don't start seeing people with the sandals and socks, because that's,
Hey now. I like the sandals and socks.
no, you don't. Come on.
So September 19th, right? Today's
Yeah.
the 19th. So we're almost at the end of September. Just a little update here. We were gonna talk about stoop sales because I have a funny story about stoop sales, and I realize we've been talking about them so much, and we went from just cleaning out stuff and getting rid of stuff to we're now doing stoop sales because we are moving. Our landlord is selling our building, and we are Ronnie and I are looking to move upstate and buy a house.
Moving on and moving up
Yes.
north.
So that is why I've been having so many stoop sales.
Cleaning house, is that what we're calling this now?
Yes, the goal is to move into more square footage with less stuff.
Good plan.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yes, because as I was thinking about telling the story, I thought, gosh, we've really talked about stoop sales on this podcast a lot. Like, it's going to seem weird that just we keep doing them, but it turned into, you know what, let's really downsize what we have before we move. So I tried my hand at when Ronnie was out of town 2 weeks ago. I dragged some stuff out during the week because I thought, let me see what the foot traffic is like on a Thursday. So after I did my morning stuff, I went out and I put clothes out, just like, really, not too much stuff. I just sat outside, and, me and the dog sat outside, and it was nice. And this woman came with a bunch of kids, and she said, I run this daycare for the church on the corner. I'm taking the kids to the park. She wanted to buy something. She gave me money for it, but then she said, can you hold on to it? And when I come back, I'll get it. And I was like, I didn't really want to make this exchange. Like, I kind of wanted to just say, keep your money and hopefully I'll be here when you come back. I didn't want to be responsible for now holding on to this item for her that she wanted.
I mean, just to interrupt you for a second, I don't think people understand what a stoop sale or garage, whatever you want to call it, because we had a discussion on that.
Right.
It's basically a person getting rid of shit. And that's it. It doesn't come with receipts. It doesn't come with extra services.
Yeah, I'm not charging
come with, customer service. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'll give you a bag if you need one.
And that's going far. What you get is what you get, and that's it.
Right. So I was hesitant, but then I said, okay, but if I'm not out here when you get back, and which was exactly the case. I ended up, I think it started to get cloudy, and I was maybe thought it was going to rain. So I closed up for the day and I never saw her. So I had tucked the jacket away in the hallway. We have a shoe thing. So I put it in there, and I thought, I'm not going to see this woman again. Well, I set up on Friday. The was just 2 days ago. It was Thursday or Friday. I did it again because I thought, it's another weekday. I still have not seen this woman. I thought maybe I'll see her in the neighborhood. You know, I haven't seen her. I want to give her this jacket because now I feel like.
See what happened though? It became your responsibility to find her. Yeah.
So here she comes.
Ah.
It was Thursday or Friday this week. So it was like, it'd been 2 weeks that this jacket is still in my possession. And I saw her and I go, oh, hi. I said, I set up today just for you because I wanted to give you the jacket. Oh, thank you so much. Puts it in her bag and, you know, she looks at, so I had put some of my plants, I have a Pelia, and I had made little babies and I was selling them for $3, like little baby Pelias. I mean, I saw them for like $15 at the store. So I made little babies and I put them out. And she said, are these free? And I said, no. And she said, oh, well, is that your apartment? And she points at the window. Now, as you know, we've talked about this before, that I put all my plants in the window for myself, but you really, when you walk by, you can see all my plants in the window. It does look really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So she says, she points at our apartment, like the first floor. She goes, that's your apartment there, right? And I said, yeah. And she said, well, you have this plant in the window. Could I have a cutting of that plant? Now, this is the same woman. I've held on to this jacket for 2 weeks for her. She doesn't want to buy the plant that I'm selling. She wants a cutting of a plant that's inside my house. And I just looked at her like, I didn't say no, but then she says, well, I'm going to a meeting at the church and I'll be right back. And I think I started closing up for the day. I said, that's it. She's not coming back.
Just to avoid her. What nerve. That's like the definition of brass balls.
Yeah. And I thought, you know, you're throwing in this like, oh, I run a daycare for the church. I'm going to a meeting at the church, you know, do nice things for me because I'm a whole
do-gooder. So yeah.
And she just kind of had that a little bit of a attitude about her. I thought that like, yeah, dude, I mean, let me tell you something. That was a nice jacket. I sold her for $1.
And excuse me, but you're getting the deal of a lifetime. You don't require further services on top of that. Yeah,
So,
it's almost, I almost can see it being like, oh, can I give you 50 cents for that? Like, it's almost like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I know Ronnie got mad at me because I was charging way too low of prices, but I really just wanted, I mean, this stuff's going to end up getting donated to, you know, Salvation Army or something, because I don't want to, this is just stuff I don't want to take with me. It's, you know, it doesn't spark joy anymore. I did my little, you know, I have like a bunch of stuff that just, you know, I don't want it to come with me. Every time I see a friend, I'm like, what can I give them? Like something that I have that I'm just trying to downsize.
And it makes you happy to see your house suddenly getting like smaller.
Yeah. And you know what? And so while I'm talking to this other crazy lady, someone bought a shirt and as she walked away, but then she came back and she had the shirt on and she said, I love it. She's like across the street. She was like, I love my new shirt. And I was like, that was so nice. So, cause I feel like it's just old clothes or, you know, stuff that if somebody else is going to be happy with it, I'd rather it just go for, you know.
Yeah.
But then when somebody's such a jerk, it's like, ugh.
How funny would it have been if you had held up the jacket from a distance and went and just cut it and ripped it to shreds? It's like, that's actually.
She didn't, when I brought it back out, like it had been 2 weeks, she bought this jacket, like I gave it to her. She just like kind of threw it in her bag. And, oh, thanks. Like,
well, you've told me crazy stories about people saying like, do you have a shopping bag? Like people just like, what do they think this is, a mall?
I know. Well,
would you ever have the nerve to go up and buy something for dirt cheap, practically free, and then start requesting like services to go along with it?
no.
It really makes you say like, yeah, there are people like this that just have no shame.
Yeah, it was,
Like, I don't care if you're Mother Teresa, I'm not giving you that for like,
yep. So that's what's going on here in Brooklyn. I, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
well, as much as those things suck to do,
Yeah.
they always bring along a funny story. I don't know. It is pretty humorous and like, it's high entertainment there. As my
Yeah.
grandmother would say, what do you need a TV for? Just sit here and watch the people come by.
Yeah, brings out the best. I had a woman also yesterday just immediately started talking about like just being very racist and talking about reverse discrimination at her job, and it just went into this whole thing about she was just completely being inappropriate, and I was standing there like, please just buy the shirt. She did buy the shirt, but the whole time she's just yapping and talking about things, and I think that I wasn't co-signing.
Yeah, you weren't giving her the.
Yeah, and so she was getting nervous, so she just kept talking more and more and telling me all kinds of stories. And then she said like, oh, what I said earlier, I wasn't being racist. I have lots of Black friends.
No.
And I was like, I swear, it was so funny. And I just was like standing there nodding my head like.
How did these conversations even come up in the matter of 5 minutes of looking through the
Didn't
little.
I say this last week? I said it's like people are so quick to go to religious or political, like they want to find out what side you're on immediately, and it's like, oh my gosh, like
Can't they just buy the shit and get on with it?
yeah, I kind of got the feeling from her that she was one of these like had to get out of the house and just talk to somebody.
Although you bring up a good point, like this is what small talk has become now. It's not even like weather. That used to piss you off, but weather would be like nice now.
Yeah,
I'll
just
talk about the clouds and the rain as opposed to my like discrimination issues.
yeah, she was like, I've just had too many Black bosses lately. And I was like, what? And I kind of like looked around me like, is anybody listening? Can anybody hear this? Like, this is crazy. So then I had a t-shirt on, or my tattoos were, she could see my tattoos. And she said, how long have you been living in this neighborhood? And, well, when you first moved to this neighborhood, were people judgmental of you? And I immediately like was like, what do you mean? And she kind of like went like this, like towards my arm, like my tattoos.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't even say it. She was like, that over there. Yeah.
And I was like, I'm already like, you're crazy. But I'm so like, I'm sticking with it. And I go, what do you mean? Like she just, I go, I don't know what you mean. Like, I just was like, I was like, just waiting for her to keep talking. And she just looked at me like, oh, I guess, she said, I guess because you're a couple, maybe you don't get that so much or something, like, because
that sounds like she like did damage control, because that doesn't really make
such
sense.
a weird, like, what are you trying to say to me? What are you trying to make friends with me?
Yeah, it's like what you said though. It's like a pre-interview. Like, let's see what line she's on. Like,
Yeah, and so then I got the $1 for the shirt that she wanted. Just give me the $1 and get out of here. Do you need a bag?
Yeah, I came across I was looking in the news feed and I actually took a picture of this because you know how some of the articles in the news feed, like you can't read, it's like you need you need to be like a subscriber to Apple or whatever the heck, like. So I said, oh, I wish I could read more on this article because this is like fucking weird. Let me see. Okay, here's the headline. I mean, talk about clickbait. Teen undergoes emergency surgery after getting a USB cord stuck in his penis after trying to measure himself internally. Doesn't that raise a few questions on your end? Like, this goes in the news.
How?
Who put this out there into the public?
Is that supposed to, I guess that's a deterrent.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I guess. Otherwise, what's the point of this? Like,
Right.
don't do this at home. This is where all those, when you wonder, like when you get medication and it says like, or anything, you know, do not try this at home. And you're like, who the hell would do that? These are the people that do things that you are like,
Jeez.
like the champagne bottle, which I told you a few episodes ago. Like, I remember buying this cheap champagne that was like, it had a picture near where you opened it, near the cork, that had a picture of someone like with an X over their eye. Like, don't open it like that. Like, in order for that to go there, someone had to have done that.
But they had a little picture. That's funny.
And called up and sued, or, you know, made us think about it.
On the technology front, I got a new phone this week. I'm switching from iPhone to Samsung. So that's fun. I'm so technologically on top of things. Although I can't show it to you right now because it's plugged in. They're transferring data right now.
Oh, all right. You getting used to it though?
No. I'm trying. No, it was just that when we were doing all these, like, we got rid of our cable boxes, we got new phones, or cutting our bills down and stuff this week. We did a lot of stuff this week, but when we ordered the phones, I thought it said that they were coming like in a month, like they're on the way. Well, Ronnie's is coming in a month, but mine came the next day. It just showed up the next day. And I was like, I'm not ready.
Yeah.
I'm not ready to do all this stuff. Like, my phone has too many photos on it. It's just
Then it makes you reevaluate what you back up and what you don't back up. I think I told you that I got a new phone too in June.
Yeah, we were talking about the podcast that we listen to. For some reason, it saves them. Like, if I've listened to an episode, I don't need to save it, but somehow it does. So yeah, I have to figure out how to change those.
I figured that out too when I was transferring stuff. I was like, oh geez, this is like eating up data. But I hadn't like, I'm not one of those people that keeps like 500 photos in the thing. Like, all right, you keep that there and then you move them on to the computer and put them in folders. You are.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know how people are like, oh, let me find that. What year was that? I'm like, no, I mean, you do. Yeah, I know a lot of people do. No, I move it all eventually. I keep like the favorite stuff, but then I move it to like a hard drive or something.
I think I must sync them so they're both in both places.
But then what happened was
probably I should move them right off the phone. But I need them for some reason, you know?
I had a video in there that I recorded of myself. I mean, this is embarrassing. Let's just say, like, years ago, I was at a bar with my cousin. And we're in this, I think we went on vacation to, like, our families went to Long Beach Island. I don't know. I was about 25-ish when this happened.
Well, this isn't the story. I thought this was.
No, it's related.
Oh, okay.
So this is how the backstory. We're on vacation and we rented this house where there wasn't too much around. And one night we're like, let's go out for drinks or whatever. So we went to the only bar that was there and it was like a weird scene. Okay. And then the music was random shit. And on comes like the Humpty Dance. Like, now by the time the Humpty Dance came on, we already had a couple of martinis. I was like, what's this? Like, start dancing to him. My cousin was like, oh my God, like, just making fun of me, and we were laughing. It was like, it was awful. Like, this is not what I'm not dancing to this, you know. But I did. I made a fool of myself. And then she played it at her wedding just for a joke, because I had danced to that song that night when we were like drunk.
Oh, she just played the song, not the video.
No,
Is there
she
a
played,
video?
we didn't have a video of me because we
Oh,
didn't have
okay.
video phones back then.
Oh, okay, okay,
Okay,
okay.
so
Okay.
so she played the song at her wedding just as for a joke for my benefit, right?
Right, right.
Which, by the way, there is a video of that somewhere lurking around. But anyway, I thought and I danced to it at her wedding, right? So I said, her 15-year anniversary is coming up. So
And the guy passed away this year too.
I know, that's right. So I put it in my calendar and I'm like, I'm gonna reenact the dance I did and send that to her as a joke, as like a little wedding present, right? So I get the phone ready. I'm like recording myself. It's so awkward, the whole thing, because I'm sober as anything too. So I'm like dancing to this in my living room at 42 years old, like have it all ready. I'm like, okay, I'm going to send that tomorrow. That very day I got the new phone, and I didn't have everything backed up because I knew I was getting a new phone. So when I transferred this shit over, I'm like, oh shit, I don't have anything from like the last week that I did here. I had to redo the dance in my living. I'm like, this is not something you do twice. Now it's going to lose all its cachet, and I have to like.
Well, second time around, you should have gotten loosened up a little.
So the Humpty dance made me say, okay, you know what? I'm backing it up. I'm not doing that again.
You learned your lesson.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna not think of that every time I hear that song now.
That's so embarrassing. That stupid nose. So yeah, back it up.
Back it up.
But
yeah, I've got tons. Well, it was a whole Instagram thing, like having access to everything on my mobile. I think the photos that I take with my camera go to the computer, but
yeah,
it's a lot of photos. I spent a lot of time
video.
deleting photos this week, and then I found this whole photo album of live video, which is like when it takes a whole bunch of pictures at once, which is I hate that. Like, it's so
I hate
unnecessary.
that too. Yeah,
it's unnecessary. So I took a lot of those out. Yep. Cleaning up. So yeah, if it's weird that I've been having more and more stoop sales, that's why. If anybody was wondering.
I wish I could be there to like join in, because I would love to see that.
I seriously thought, oh my God, when this lady was talking to me yesterday, she was there for a while too. I was like, somebody please
Get
come
me out of this. Yeah.
No, not just like somebody has to hear this. Like, I wished somebody was there. I couldn't believe I was there by myself listening to the things that she was saying. And she showed me the building she lives in. I know I'm going to run into her again. I know I'm going to run into her again. Anyway.
I'm going back to that woman saying, isn't that your apartment? Like, did you tell her where you lived, or she just guessed that was your?
Oh, there's only three.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
3 levels.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
You know, assuming that I'm in one of the apartments, you know, like, oh, and sees the plants that I'm selling. No, I don't want to buy one of those. Can I have a cutting of one of those? How ballsy is that to ask? And then I actually was like, oh, you know, I would give her a cutting. And then I like I didn't immediately say yes, and I didn't say no, but I was like, this is awkward, you know. And then as she walked away, I thought, like, that's something I would do for a friend. I don't know her, and I just held onto this jacket for 2 weeks. Like,
exactly. Yeah, but the chances are a person that would even ask that in the first place wouldn't even get the subtlety of you not saying yes or no. Like,
oh no, she was like, oh, I'll be right back. I have something more important to do.
I have to go say, I'm gonna go do my rosary beads when I come back.
Yeah, that was like, it was immediately like, oh, well, I have something else to do.
Yeah, so you wait for me.
Yeah, again. with this. I'm going to the park. Hold on to this for me.
Because you have nothing else to do.
You could go to the plant store and buy one of your own. I'll just tell you which place I bought it at.
Ah,
Anyway,
how many
plan.
more of these are you doing? Are you gonna do another one this week?
Well, we're gonna go upstate this weekend, so
Okay,
I'm gonna take some stuff, you know, like that white bin right there. See that
Yep.
under, like that'll probably go, I'll fill up the car with some just stuff I don't need but can't get rid
random.
of. Yeah, I'm trying to like downsize, but some stuff I'm, but I'm leaving it in this big closet in my mom's house that's like just a big, huge closet that's empty. So it's not in her way.
I
Go-
enjoy throwing things out. I've told you that many times.
love it. Yeah, I love it. So yeah, this amount of stuff that we have for the stoop sale is getting smaller. So that's good. I don't know. It kind of does get depressing after a while when you start meeting your neighbors that are, I definitely identified some of the people that probably take, because I'll put stuff out for like garbage or whatever, and I'll come back an hour later and it's gone, somebody's taken it. And I kind of ID'd who those people are. They're walking around looking at stuff and they have like a cart and,
Wearing your clothing.
All right.
All right, well, good luck.
Yeah, stoop sale has become like such a huge topic for us. This is like, try to talk about something different next week.
All right,
All right,
good luck, have fun.
thank you.
Bye.